y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Merina. I'm on my way to make my mobile home mobile mansion, but I'm also on my way to get my mobile home completely decluttered and organized. I want it so organized that if I lose a penny, I know where I'm gonna find it. That's how organized I want it. I'm generally a messy person, and I use my YouTube channel to kind of document my evolution, I guess you could say, throughout me trying to get my life together. Basically, it's really hard for me, and I know I'm not alone because a lot of you guys have told me in the comments, girl, like my house looks just like this, and that helps me more than you will ever know, because a lot of times you guys think, oh, she's on here and she's helping us to feel not alone, but sometimes my comments make me feel alone. Sometimes not the mean comments, I mean, I get mean comments a lot, but a lot of times the nicely delivered kind of negative comment, but it's, you know, like not really negative, but just they nicely deliver it, but the message is just, it makes me feel less than sometimes. Sometimes it's, oh, my house doesn't look like this. I don't know how you could live like this but keep doing the daggone thing, or something like that. And I'm glad that they deliver it nicely, but sometimes it can get to me still, because I'm like, it makes me feel like I'm alone, and it makes me feel like I'm the only mom who struggles with keeping her house clean, and who has to actually make an effort to keep her house clean. It doesn't come easy for me. Routine doesn't come easy for me. Nothing like that. Nothing about homemaking comes easy to me, but I pray that one day it will. I just keep trying. I keep coming back and doing the daggone thing in hopes that one day it won't be so hard. I don't mind to work a little if I can get to the point to where I can be that granny who knows how to bake from scratch, who knows how to clean her home. I struggle a lot with wanting to be that person but not being that person. And I struggle a lot also with wanting to get it together before my kids are grown and out of the house, because in my mind, I don't want my kids to miss out on something my grandkids get to have. Like, I don't want to be that grandma just for my grandkids. I would love to be that mom now for my kids. So I'm continually trying to better myself when it comes to homemaking. I'm continually trying to get better about messes and about cleaning and about staying on routines. I'm continually just trying to better myself physically, mentally, when it comes to being in the home and outside of the home. This channel is all about that. Finding you guys, finding my people has helped me so much. I'm totally convinced I would not be a fourth of where I am now were it not for you guys. God has strategically placed y'all in my life to keep me on track, to come and encourage me and inspire me by your stories of how you weren't the best homemaker, and then you end up being a grand homemaker. I like hearing about the people who have always been good at it. It gives me something to look up to. Like, it gives me something like, man, I want to be like that. That's why whenever I do get negative comments about my house and they turn it around and they're applauding themselves, like, well, I clean my house every day and I wash my floors 456 times a year. That's like more than once a day. I'm like, go you. Like, heck yes, like, I'm striving to be like that. Heck yeah, applaud you. Absolutely. Let's give a round of applause. No negativity from me whatsoever. I'm striving to be half of the cleaning person you are. Like, I'm happy for you. I'm glad it's that way for you, but it's not that way for me right now. I have hope that it will be one day. I'm not going to clean my floors more than once a day. That's probably not going to happen. If I could just get down to once a week, I'll be good. I'll be golden. I'm focusing in my boys' closet today because I'm putting this in my Minimalism My Way series. We are decluttering the heck out of this thing. What is this? What is this, Colton? What is this? All this was just laying up there. I think these are Digimon. I don't know. I think these are old school Digimon that Shane had as a kid, and he gave them to Colton. He like passed them down. You guys know how Colton is about family heirlooms. But really, he just had it laying up there in this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these, because he really loves these. I know he's not going to declutter these. And we're going to put them in one of those bins over here. I make people mad when I say I'm doing minimalism my way, because they're like, that your house is not minimalistic. That's why I said it's my way. It is minimalism my way. I'm a maximalist. I'm a messy maximalist. This is what minimalism looks like to me. This is the minimal amount of stuff that I want in our home. Therefore, it's minimalism to me. Minimalism my way. If I can just make one person feel better about their homemaking skills, how good or how bad, whatever they are, if I can make one mama feel better than what she's been feeling by watching all of these people on this platform organized houses, cleaned houses, then I can leave my comments when this video goes up. I can leave it happy, and I can leave it like, okay, like it's worth it if I can make just one person feel better about themselves and their homemaking skills, no matter how little those skills are. Because yes, we may be messy, and yes, we may be unorganized, yes, we may be hot mess expresses, yes, our house can be dirty sometimes, yes, there's laundry piled up for days, but one thing that we can say about ourselves is we don't stop trying. I never quit trying, even when I come back to square one and my house is as messy as it was when I first started my channel, which is rare. It's a rare occasion these days. I'm getting better about it. But even if it goes back to being worse than it was at the beginning of my channel, one thing I can say is I don't stop trying. I just try again, and I try again, and I try again, and I try again, till one day, Lord willing, I realize I'm not even trying anymore, because it comes naturally, because I've taught myself how to be the way that I wanted to be for my kids, for my grandkids, for my great-grandkids. So I want those of you who do struggle the same way that I struggle, I want you to make me a promise in the comments that we won't stop. I'll keep going if you keep going, you keep going if I keep going, and we'll do this together. We'll learn to be this way together. We won't back down. We will stand our ground. That sounds like a Johnny Cash song, but we'll fight back anything that's keeping us from being the person that we want to be. We'll fight against that, and we will overcome it. We are made overcomers by what? The blood of the Lamb and the words of our testimonies. The word of my testimony is I was a bad mom. I wasn't a good mom. I was a selfish mom. I was a self-absorbed mom. I was a messy mom. I can say already that almost all of those things I just named off to you, I was made an overcomer by the blood of the Lamb and the words of my testimony, except for that last one. And God ain't give up on me. He ain't giving up on me. So one day I'll be able to say, I was that messy mom. I was that hot mess express. My life was in shambles. When it comes to cleaning, I didn't know what I was doing. I was washing floors with dish detergent. I mean, I can say all of those things. And I can say, but look now. Like, look at me now. Like, I'm washing with Fabuloso now, bro. I'm serious, though. I'm waiting for that moment when I can say, that's my testimony. I was that hot mess express, but now I'm a good homemaker. And I'm confident that I'll be able to say that one day. And I'm confident that you'll be able to say that one day, too. Who decided to make the closet inserts look like grills? Like, did George Foreman make these or what?
And I'll be fine, no fear, no doubt. I know a place that sneak away, leave the pain, I'll stay with you. Let me hold you, close your eyes, we'll be reaching paradise. Ooh. Love now than ever, and I know we'll be alright. Be alright, be alright. Yeah, I know we'll be alright. We are closer now than ever, and I know we'll be alright. Be alright, be alright. Yeah, I know we'll be alright. We are closer now than ever, and I know we'll be alright. I don't even really know your name, but I'm still high on our love that makes me feel alright. I don't even really know your name, but I'm still high on our love that making me feel alright.
Okay, so we're slowly clearing out the closet. There's a bunch of little stuff I'm going through. A lot of this stuff I have to have Colt in here for. But so far, keep trash, declutter away, far, far away from here. Nannies. Because I told Nanny I was going to do a declutter. And she says if it's anything that they've had for a long time or anything they still play with, to send it up there. So those are all of Colton and Cameron's SpongeBob Imaginext toys. There for a while they were big into SpongeBob Imaginext, so I literally had to hunt down on eBay for all the play sets, Glove World, the Krusty Krab, all of that. Like, we hunted them down. Every Christmas we would get on eBay and hunt down the play sets that you couldn't find anywhere. And I remember the day that we got Glove World, I could not find it anywhere but on eBay. And it took forever to get here, but the boys were so excited about it. So they love their SpongeBob. We just don't have room for it, given everything else that they love more. So that set, as well as their Jurassic Park, the Colton's Jurassic Park dinosaurs, are going to go to Nana's. So altogether, I'm thinking it's going to be Colton and Cameron's SpongeBob Imaginext goes to Nana's. Colton's dinosaurs from Jurassic Park go to Nana's. But this right here is Declutter so far. And I have to go through this because it's a mix of everything. A lot of this stuff is difficult to go through because a lot of this stuff was Shane's when Shane was a kid. So I don't have any pictures from my childhood. I don't have any toys from my childhood or nothing. Some unfortunate events happened and all of my stuff got sold as a child, even my pictures. So they really like the fact that they have something from their dad's childhood. So it's really, I've got to be really careful when I go through these things. But a lot of it is like trading cards from like the 1980s that Shane had when he was 2. So a lot of it they really aren't that interested in. So I'm going to ask Shane and see what he wants to do with them. I'm not going to declutter them. If he wants to keep them, I'll find somewhere to store them. But knowing Shane, I don't think he's going to want to keep them if nobody's playing with them or interested in them, and they're super old and decaying anyway. So I've got to be careful when I go through this stuff. So I'm going to bring Colton in here. They're actually outside working on a Mother's Day project for me, which is so cute. Shane has them all out there working on it. I'm not allowed to see it. I don't know what it is. But whenever he gets done with that, I'm going to bring him and Cammie in here and let them see what they want to keep. Have Cammie kind of show me what he likes. Have Colton tell me what he wants to keep and all that stuff. That way I don't declutter anything that's special to them. Cammie made it so easy to declutter things because I would just show him something and he'd be like, no. So I knew what I could and couldn't declutter. Colton is my mini and he is so indecisive, and I told him, I was like, I'm not going to tell you what you have to get rid of, but I'm going to tell you we have to get rid of something. So I'm going to leave it up to you to make your decision. Whatever you want to keep, whatever you really love, I would keep that over something that you barely play with, because I can name on one hand how many things he actually really plays with over and over and over and over. So the child literally spent hours sitting in his floor with me in there working around him, figuring out what he wanted. And I can't tell you how many times he picked something, then changed his mind, and then picked something else, and then changed his mind. Hours. I was finally like, Cole, it was like late. I was like, it is getting so late. You're just going to have to make fast decisions, buddy. Working with limited space, it is really limited space whenever you just have a 16 by 80 single wide and there's 6 people living in that home. We don't have any outside storage or anything as of right now, so it's really hard to figure out ways to fix things and organize things in a way where we kind of utilize all the space. I had so many ideas as to how I could organize this stuff, but it wasn't utilizing all of the space that I could utilize. And I wanted to maximize the space. I wanted to maximize the space. That way we could have more things that we enjoy and not have to get rid of so much. Things that we actually play with, things that we actually look at, things that we actually interact with. I wanted them to keep them if they wanted to. So I took all the clothes out of the closet and I did like the roll kind of fold so I could fit more in the dresser drawers. And we don't have a lot of dress clothes. I mentioned that here in a little bit, but we really don't have a lot of dress clothes. We usually wear t-shirts all the time. So I've got all their t-shirts and pants and pajamas rolled up in that dresser, and anything that doesn't fit in there, then we get rid of. That's going to be my decluttering mechanism when it comes to the clothes now. Anything that doesn't fit in the dresser, we get rid of. Anything that doesn't fit on our bodies, we get rid of. I went in with the Kilts paint and touched up the closet. It didn't really need a coat, only on some areas, but I went ahead and did 2 coats on it. I did 2 coats on the trim as well, but I'm going to have to go back and do another coat with the trim. I forgot to get the trim that's where the door would normally close, and I noticed while editing this that there's some areas on that side as well. And then it didn't really take to the trim on this side, and I don't know if it's where I left the paint open, because this is just the Kilts paint we used in the boys' bedroom. I know it's a primer. Everybody was telling me it's a primer. I know it's a primer, but I really liked the way that it looked, and I didn't figure I would need to put another coat of white interior paint on it if it already looked good and the texture was good and everything. It didn't wipe off with their wet rag. I made sure of that because I really wanted something I could actually clean the walls with, because it's a boys' room. The walls need cleaned sometimes. So I liked just using the Kilts as the primer and the paint. It worked for me. It does a great job coating things. I told you guys in the last video that we did with the Kilts that it took several coats to get cover that red, but I wasn't saying that like as a jab to the quality. I love this paint. This paint covers up everything. It may take a few coats of it, but I love the way that it finishes. I don't even think it needs a top coat. Like, it finishes beautifully. It's thick, it's solid, it's cleanable. I like it. I'm putting these totes that I usually kept the boys' pajama pants and their socks and stuff in. I'm putting them in the closet because that's the main way I'm going to organize their toys in here. They have so many little action figures. We needed a way to organize those so they weren't just, all the little pieces weren't just together, because a lot of things didn't get played with a lot because the pieces were everywhere. So I went in and organized their Fortnite stuff from their Dragon Ball stuff, their Kingdom Hearts, from their Pokemon stuff, their Digimon stuff. It all has categories, even down to the Legos and the Pokemon cards. Everything is categorized, and I'm going to in the future go in with my Cricut and label these so they know what goes where. They can pretty much already tell by what's in there, but I still just want to do that just to make my mind feel better, and then to help them if they for some reason have a brain fart, then they can look on there and say, oh, I'm going to put a little picture on it as well, a picture on it for Cammie and then the word for Colton, just so they know where everything goes. Y'all, I am so proud of my boys. This is what they're getting rid of. They're decluttering a bunch of stuff, a bunch of random action figures that they don't have sets to, a lot of their dinosaurs, some RC cars. Do we still call them RC cars, or did I just show my age? RC cars, remote control. I was today years old when I found out RC stands for remote control cars. Wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, RC cars. It stands for.
I just now figured that out.
It just hit me. Like, I said RC cars, and I was like, why is it? And I was like, remote control car. And I was like, wait a minute. It's hitting me. I have an epiphany. Oh yeah, here's another thing for SpongeBob. They have the whole entire SpongeBob Imaginext set. That was a butt to find. We searched high and low for those. I think I already told you guys that. But they got some pretty cool sets from the SpongeBob Imaginext series. So this is all that they're decluttering. I'm so proud of them because they really did not give me a hard time. I left it up to them and they were like, this we haven't really played with. This we haven't really played with. So this is what the declutter pile looks like, and this is what their closet is looking like. I transferred all their clothes to the dresser because I'm wanting to be minimal on clothes anyway, so whatever clothes don't fit in there, then that's how I know to rehome those clothes. Also, we don't have a lot of dressy clothes or anything that really doesn't need wrinkles in it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I have wrinkle releaser stuff that I can spray on it and toss it in the dryer if I have to, but like for the most part, we just wear t-shirts around here. So all the t-shirts, pants, and stuff like that, socks and everything's in their dresser. This is specifically for their toys now. This is the toys that they're keeping, which is a lot, but there's a system here. So we've got their Power Ranger Imaginext. They're keeping those. Mario and Fortnite playsets are down here. And then their big old Megazords are back there as well. That's all Power Rangers. Up here is Pokemon toys, Legos, their Skylanders, Pokemon cards. This is an array of Kingdom Hearts, Dragon Ball, and Gundam toys. And I don't know what half this stuff is. Colton just tells me the name and I just go with it. This is a bunch of their Overwatch, and then they have their little figurines that go with the Power Ranger Imaginext things. And then Colton's Nintendo powers. He loves looking at vintage Nintendo powers, and so Shane gave him a lot from his childhood and his comic books. And then this is their Mario playsets, and then this over here is their Fortnite figures. So all these toys go with the playsets over here. And then down here we've got some Megazords that have to be put together, so they're kind of by themselves so pieces don't get messed up or go missing. And then down here are Cammy's 12-inch action figures.
That goes in there.
He really loves these. With my Cricut, I'm gonna put labels on here so that they know what goes where and stuff, so they can keep it organized and it doesn't end up looking like a hot mess. Because every other system we've tried before now ends up looking like a hot mess. You've got literally SpongeBob heads and arms and with Fortnite's guns, and it's a mess. So I will use my Cricut to put labels on those. But up here we still have a lot of room, so I'm gonna have Shane hang some shelving for their winter clothes and then for their bedding. That way all of their stuff can be stored in here. That will also take some stuff out of my closet, out of our big one, and it gives us more space in our closet for other things, which that closet, we really need that closet for several things. So that'll really help us out. So I'm just going to do shelving all along the top here, and then put winter, like coats, hoodies, jackets, stuff like that. Honestly, we wear winter pajamas year round, but we have a system to it, and I'm so excited about it. And then over here is their PS4. Colton's also decorated a little bit. He put that there as well as one of his little Gundams. And I don't know what he set up this for, but he had this completely set up, so I need to fix it so that when he gets home. Oh, it's like a little Disney store. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, he had this set up and I actually knocked it over, so he's gonna... Ah! My fingers are like Vienna sausages. I can't do this stuff. Like, these things are tiny. These things are going to get sucked up in the vacuum. I can already tell. I ain't a fortune teller. I can tell y'all your fate. You are going to get sucked up in the vacuum and never to be seen again. But that's how he decorated that. He has his little hat sitting over here too. In this, I have Cammy's Peppa Pig stuff. Here we have all the Digimon that were given to Colton from Shane's childhood. Colton plays with these every day, so that's why they're over here. He plays with these the most out of anything he has, I think, and Fortnite. But these he's pulling out all the time, so I put them here so they're easily accessible for him. And then he took his Gundams to Nanny's, but he's coming back tonight, and when he does, then I'll put those here because he also plays with those a lot, and they have a lot of tiny pieces that we don't want to get mixed up with other stuff. Look at all of Cammy's little Peppa Pigs. He has it in every version. It's so cute. He loves these things. So I told you guys that I would show you guys what the boys' room looked like with all their stuff in here, so that you know if your kids have color in their room, that's a normal thing. Don't go spray paint in your kids' stuff neutrals, please. Unless that's just their thing. Unless they just love it. Let them have color. Let them have fun in their space. Let them pick what they want to have in their space. It feels so much better to give them that control, to let go of that control that you would normally have over their space. It feels so much better than having control over it and not seeing the smiles that they have when they have control over it. Because when they get older, they're going to have control of their space, right? No one's ever going to walk in and tell them what color to do their living room in. So letting them have their space and do what they want to with their space now helps them to really figure out what their style is, and what colors they like together, and what the vibe, I hate that word, but the vibe that they want to have in their room. It teaches them that at an early age. It gives them some individuality. It makes the room personal. It makes it feel like it's actually theirs. Let them do what they want to do. It's just a bedroom. At the end of the day, it is just a bedroom. And it's their bedroom at that. So it's their happy space. It's their space to where they come at the end of the day or in the middle of the day if they're having a rough day. They come in here, they lay on the bed, and they feel comfortable because they know that it's theirs. It's their safe space. Colton says it a lot. He's like, home is my safe place. He feels safe in our home, but their room even takes it a step further than that. It's their safe place away from the busyness of the home, or maybe it's super loud in there. I'm washing dishes, Shane's doing something, he's sawing something, the girls have the TV blasting, Cammy wants to get away from it, he walks in here. It becomes his safe place away from his safe place, if that makes sense. So let them do what they want to do. It's hard at first to give control away. I know, because I used to talk my kids into, years and years ago, like whenever Colton could first talk, I would try to talk him into themes that I thought would look really cute in his rooms, or colors, or just things in general. I would find myself talking him into, oh, let me do this, Colton, or oh, let me do that, Colton. It even flowed into a little bit of this year. If you all remember, I was trying my hardest to talk him into let me do a buffalo plaid wall in his room. And it got to the point to where I said, what do you want in your room, Colton? He said, a buffalo plaid wall. And I remember me asking him and kind of talking him into and coaxing him into wanting a buffalo plaid wall. And I looked at him, I was like, do you really want that? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, do you really, out of everything, do you want that? And he's like, well, could I do? And I'm like, yes, of course you can do whatever you want. You want black walls, baby, we'll get you black walls. So I'm even learning that myself. Even the little things like an accent wall, let them, give them ideas. Let them get on Pinterest and scroll on your phone. That's what I did with Cole. I gave my phone to him. I said, scroll away. And he scrolled up and down and saw things that he liked and would give me ideas and stuff. So, just know, this is what my boys' room looks like with all their stuff in it. Lived in, enjoyed, and so much loved. They love this room. It is insane trying to get them out of this room anymore. I have to come in here to them half the time. It's so worth it seeing the smile on their faces and hearing them tell their friends about their new room, and hearing them go to Nanny's. Colton went to Nanny and he was like, you should see my new room. And Nanny's like, oh my gosh, I love it. Like hearing them go and tell people like, this is what Mama and Daddy did. Like they did it the way I wanted it to be done. And I got to pick this, and I got to, that is worth so much more than losing a little bit of control. I promise you. As moms, not all moms, some of y'all have been cool moms from the get-go. I'm just now a cool mom. I'm learning how to be a cool mom by giving some of the control away. And that's hard for me because I feel like as moms in general, we are control freaks sometimes, and it comes out of love. It all stems from love. It's not like most of us aren't bad control freaks over just everything, but at being a part of mothering a child, there's some control that we grab onto because we realize, I think subconsciously, like the older they get, the less control we have, and it's scary for us. We just need to remember that there's a healthy kind of control, and then there's the kind of control that it really doesn't matter if it's there or not. Just give it to them. And I'm saying this from experience because I know those feelings, and I know how hard it is to give that control away at first, but the more you do that, the more you see their smiles on their faces and just the happiness it brings them to have their space that they've picked out, or their clothes that they want to wear, or their toys that they want to keep, or stuff like that, it makes the control easy to give away. You get used to it. There's a healthy amount of control where that's control that you don't give away. That's control that keeps them safe. That's control that keeps them secure. That's a different kind of control. But as far as bedroom colors, y'all, in the big scheme of things, it really don't matter. So let me show you what the boys' room looks like. I gotta get my phone here because it's on the bed. With the colors and with all the little knickknacks that they have decorated it with themselves, and all the things that the boys have put in here. You've seen their closet, you've seen how I organized it, you saw the before, which was crazy, then you've seen how I organized it, but let me show you what the outside, the actual room itself looks like. So walking in, we have this little smell good thingy, because boys' room, and then we have this rug I brought in from the bathroom to cover up some of the carpet that this rug didn't quite cover up over here. Their beds, they have their yellow blanket. I know a bunch of you guys are really loving that color in their bedroom makeover, the end results in that video, and I love that color too, but I even love it even more now because it really brings out the color, that same exact color in the painting Shane did for him. So Shane made this shadow box and painted this for them. It's like themed off of Star Wars because they each like different things, but one thing they both really like is Star Wars. So that's what they agreed on whenever it came to putting the rolling theme in here. This Shane painted and he framed out as a shadow box, and I love the way that orangish yellow really comes out of that painting. As far as their beds, they're covered in what my boys call stuffies. Cammy's got his little Toy Stories down here. He's got his Toy Story pillow pet, his Woody, Jesse, and his little Alien and Buzz. And then up here, Colton is a huge fan of fur reel, and everything on here means something to him. I really would like to declutter some of these things, but I mentioned it to him earlier and he acted like it would be an okay thing, but I didn't get specifics as to what I could declutter and what would be okay with and what he would be okay with me decluttering. So that's gonna have to be on hold. That'll have to wait till he gets home. But he does have all his fur reels up here, and then he has stuff like his Hatchimals and his Furbies right here. He loves anything animatronic, like a little pet or anything. He loves his Furbies and stuff like that. All these have names also. That's Dinah, the dinosaur. This one is Tracy, the Triceratops. His little Evie over there that he got for his birthday a couple birthdays ago. The bunnies, I know he got this from someone, I can't remember who, but it's special to him and he won't let me touch it. The bunny is also, Colton's very sentimental, and if he gets something from a loved one, he holds on to it. He does not let go. It's one thing that I do love about him. It can become a hoarder situation, but I'm glad that when he does get something from a loved one, he realizes how special it is. I think that's very important, and I'm glad that he's that way versus another way. And then over here he's got his, I forget what the fingerling. It's a fingerling. He's got it in Evie's shirt. He got this from Build-A-Bear. But he loves those things. He's got his little Star Wars pillow, which goes perfect with that. And this is what a normal bed looks like. Well, a bed with a kid who is obsessed with stuffies. Over here he's got his little hat sitting there ready to be put on whenever he wants to. All of Cammy's favorite little toys are in there. Digimon are in there, and I told you guys the Gundams will be in there. He's yet to put his money that he keeps in a big glad bag in that, but he told me he was going to do that soon. I thought he already did, but apparently he didn't. Over here, he's got little toy decor. He put this up as decor. He told me not to touch it, so I'm not. I accidentally touched that one and I had to fix it, but this is his little decor. These are his favorite box sets. He loves watching both of those over and over and over again. And then he has his little game consoles and stuff. And their backpacks that they take on trips, vacations, and they just keep stuff in. Colton keeps a lot of his video games in there just so he knows where they're at. Did I tell you all about his hoverboard? His hoverboard stays right there. So this is what a lived-in boy's room looks like here at my house. It might not look like this at your house. I can bet your bottom dollar it's not going to look like this all the time. The beds are not always made. So if your son's or daughter's bed is not made, then no, you're not alone. Our beds are not always made. We don't wake up every morning and say, okay, time to make the bed. Should we? Probably. It would be a really good routine to get into, but we don't always do that, being honest with y'all. We don't always make the bed. So if you're struggling with little things like that, I can't give you any encouragement or motivational speech. I'm on the struggle bus too. The biggest thing is letting them be kids, because you get 18 summers with them. Sometimes if you're like kids I know, then you might get like 24 summers with them. But I can tell you from experience, there are so many things that 30-year-old Marina would love to go back and tell 20-year-old Marina, 19-year-old Marina. 19-year-old Marina with a newborn baby didn't know squat. I'm telling you, it's all what I've learned is from experience. And my way isn't right. It's not a my way or the highway thing. Do what works for your kids, what makes your kids happy, what makes your kids comfortable, and what keeps your kids safe. Do what works for your family and everything, not just a kid's room. But when you get on here and you see me cleaning, you see my routine, you see my meal plan, you see my grocery haul, you see all these things, it works for my family, but it may not work for yours, and that's okay. It's not a one way, my way is the highway kind of thing. That's the best part about this, is if we were all like me, it would be boring. I can't stand myself. I couldn't stand y'all if y'all were all like me. because I get on my own nerves. But I love the fact that we're so different, and you guys can give me advice and encourage me in ways that I couldn't encourage someone else. I don't know the stuff that you guys know. And then sometimes y'all say that I tell you things that you don't know, which is insane to me because I feel like I know very little. If anything, like I feel like I don't know enough to be telling anybody anything. But I mean, that's the best part about not all being the same. Not everyone's house runs the same. Not everybody's house looks the same. And that's a good thing. I tell you all the time, not everyone has the same opinions. It's a good thing when you are met with a differing opinion. It means that that person is unique. It means that person is true to themselves and their opinions. It means that they're not trying to fit in with the Joneses. It means that they're okay being them and having their opinion. And I like that. I like hearing differing opinions because of that. It would be a really boring world if we were all the same. I'm telling you, it really would. I gravitate towards people who are not like me a lot of the times. A lot of my friends, they are polar opposites of me because I gravitate towards that. I want something different. I know how my mind works. I want to know how your mind works. I want to hear your opinion. I know what my opinion is. But what's your opinion? Like, why do you think that? Why do you believe that? Why, you know, like I want to find everything out about people. If I knew everything about you, there'd be nothing left to find out. I said all that to say, let them have color in their room. Get ready for all of that, as well as some other videos. But I hope you guys have a blessed morning, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Know that I love you, but Jesus, He loves you so much more. I'll see y'all later.